Hello everybody, this is Refresh, and this is the second of two Strixhaven pre-release packs that I'm going to be opening and building a deck out of. As I mentioned in my previous video for the Lorehold pre-release pack, Strixhaven was the last of the sets that were released during COVID shutdown for my local game store, and so I didn't have a chance to play this in person. I'm going to be opening this, taking a look at the contents, and then building a sealed deck, which then I will play against the Lorehold pre-release kit that I had previously opened. This is one of those rare sets where Wizards actually gives the pre-release experience a little bit of a theme. In this case, each pre-release kit is specific to its school and will have a pack in the kit which is strictly of that school, encouraging your deck to be built towards that school. And so you're more likely to be playing the school that is listed here. So this is a Quandrix pre-release pack. Let's open it up and see what's inside. There's our slipcover. There's the Quandrix symbol on the back. Same here. Go ahead and open this deck box. We have our Quandrix spin down life counter here. A little bit of Quandrix specific art here, and on the back a pre-release deck tip sheet. Our promo here is a Silver Quill command. As you can see, this is not necessarily specific to the kit that you open. It's just a random rare that you may be able to play. In this case, it's not going to happen. Inside, you also get a code for packs for Magic Arena. I've already tried the Lorehold one, and so whether it worked or not, you're welcome to try this code if you see it. If it doesn't work, that probably means that it's past the expiration date of the code, but you can give it a shot if you want. Here is our Quandrix card divider here. Finally, we get 6 packs of Magic the Gathering. This is the Quandrix specific pack. I'll be opening this at the end. We'll open our packs and see what we have inside, and then get the deck building. We have a Needlethorn Drake, a Archway Commons, Teach by Example, Ageless Guardian, Resculpt, Pigment Storm, Big Play, Novice Dissector, Pilgrim of the Ages, Introductory to Prophecy, Team Pennant, Overgrown Arch, Rip Apart, Valentine, Dean of the Vein, which on the backside is Lizette, Dean of the Root. We also have an Opt and a Fractal token. Now we have a Stonebound Mentor, Biblioplex Assistant, Relic Sloth, Infused with Vitality, Illustrious Historian, Field Trip, Hunt for Specimens, Star Pupil, Serpentine Curve, Expanded Anatomy, Golden Ratio, Professor of Symbology, Eye Twitch, Ingenious Mastery, Cultivate, and an Elemental token. Alright, now we have a Witherbloom Campus, a Blood Researcher, Witherbloom Pledge Mage, Tangle Trap, Spectre of the Fens, Stonerise Spirit, Frost Trickster, Fuming Effigy, Springmane Servant, Spirit Summoning, Brackish Trudge, Deadly Brew, Detention Vortex, Mavinda Student's Advocate, Doomblade, and a ad card. Now we have a Eureka Moment, Lorehold Campus, Biomathematician, Bayou Groff, Professor's Warning, Combat Professor, Enthusiastic Study, Arcane Subtraction, Reckless Amplimancer, Fractal Summoning, Quandrix Apprentice, Ardent Dust Speaker, Mentor's Guidance, Silver Quill Command number 2, Eliminate, and a treasure token. And we have a Letter of Acceptance, Prismari Pledge Mage, Elemental Masterpiece, Excavated Wall, First Day of Class, Professor of Zoomancy, Unwilling Ingredient, with Guiding Voice, Waterfall Aerialist, Introduction to Prophecy, Necromantic Fumes, Divide by Zero, Decisive Denial, Sedgemoor Witch, Whirlwind Denial, and a Pest token. Finally, our Quandrix pack. We have a Quandrix Pledge Mage, Quandrix Campus, Fractal Summoning, Vortex Runner, Soothsayer Adept, Pop Quiz, Needlethorn Drake, Burying Books, Archway Commons, Zimone Quandrix Prodigy, Wormhole Serpent, Devouring Trendles, Double Major, Elemental Token, which has a fractal on the back, a Pest, which has a fractal on the back, and a Double Face Helper card. Alright, well, it's really obvious that Lorehold is out, and so we're just going to cut all the white and the red cards. There's no way for us to be playing any of those anyways. The one wrinkle in this entire set of cards is that we actually have a reasonable number of good Golgari cards, and so I am kind of curious to see if there is a stronger Golgari deck than there is a Quandrix deck, although if you look at the number of Quandrix cards, maybe that's not going to be the case, but we'll take a look at it. We're just going to cut the Silver Quill commands here. We don't have a way to splash them in, and all of these cards as well. Alright, let's go ahead and start with the Quandrix deck. Alright, I think that this is a functional deck. I also put in Lizette because I can cast the Lizette side of her. Valentine I might be able to cast, but we will see if that is a splash that we can make. As you can see, there are a ton more spells than there are creatures, so I'm going to have to take a look at whether the creatures here are viable or if I need to maybe lean into black instead to find the deck that works. There are 16 creatures. I'm probably inclined to play everything unless we have creature generating spells here. We have 20 spells here, so we have to make 13 cuts, most of which I'm guessing is going to come from the spells here. Opt is certainly a potential play. Decisive Denial is a counter and removal in one. I think that's a reasonable keep. Being able to copy my strongest creature is probably worth keeping. This is a combat trick. It's a maybe. Tangle Trap is definitely a sideboard card, so that's getting cut. Devouring Tendrils could be a reasonable attack as well. I don't know that Resculpt is what we're trying to do in this deck, so probably cut that. Arcane Subtraction with its Learn ability is probably worth keeping. Alright, Golden Ratio, different power. This I'm going to have to take a look at the creatures a little bit more carefully before I determine if I'm going to keep that. Field Trip Learns, so we're keeping that. Cultivate can fix. I think we're going to maybe play that. Ingenious Mastery is just card draw. I think that's reasonable. This could potentially scry one and draw a card, so I'm going to have to track the number of Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, or Wizards that I have. Divide by Zero learns, so I think that this is a reasonable keep. Whirlwind Denial. I guess this is another counterspell. Might play this, probably will cut it. Pop Quiz, I'm definitely keeping. Vortex Runner is a creature that somehow made it down there. Okay, so these are question marks here. And we'll take a quick look at our creatures just to see what we can do. Druid, Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, and Wizard. There are 11. I think Mentor's Guidance is probably worth it as a card draw spell. We have powers 0 to 4 here, but I don't think that we're going to be doing more than drawing 2 with the Golden Ratio here. And I think the Mentor's Guidance is a slightly better option for drawing cards here at 3 mana, and so we'll probably cut the Golden Rule. Whirlwind Denial, I think we have enough cards as it is, and although countering for 3 is fine, I think I'd rather just hold the Decisive Denial as the way of countering and cut this card. I also have to look through here. We have Excavated Wall, which is probably not making the cut. Letter of Acceptance, I'm not also playing that either. I don't think we need the Biblioplex Assistant here or the Team Pennant, and so we'll just keep some of these cards aside. Still need to make 9 cuts, which is a lot. I think there are some easy cuts here. I'm going to cut the Bayou Groff because the Groff requires a sacrifice a creature or pay of 3. I guess I can keep it as a top end here. I do need some big bodies for the win. Alright, I think we're going to make some more cuts in the spells. Obviously we have way too many spells. I think we can just cut Big Play. It's an okay trick, but we just don't need this many cards. basically. I think we cut Cultivate because we're not really ramping. Okay, this is kind of removal. Needlethorn Drakes are really good, defensive and offensive cards. This is a way to ramp, so I like that. Zimone is a way to ramp and draw. Overgrown Arch can learn. This might not be good enough to stay in the deck, though. It doesn't really do a ton, aside from the learn effect. But I have lots of learn effects, and yeah, I think this gets cut. Springmane Servant probably won't stay in this deck here. Yeah, Frost Trickster is fine. So let's cut the Servant, I think. It's just a dude. We don't need that many dudes. I think we're going to keep Lizette, and including the creature on this side. The past creation of Valentin is not all that necessary, but Witherwound Campus will let us play it, so we'll do that. And then Lizette can make take some advantage of this life creation. The Professor of Zoomancy will get us at least one of the pests that we need. The Waterfall Aerialist is one of our few ways through. Then when it comes to big creatures, these are kind of it. I think we'll probably cut the Groff just because we have a lot going on already. But then that really limits me to the number of cards that I have. I'm going to keep these Fractal Summonings in the board, but there are things that I can grab with the Learn cards. So those are very important. We also have a handful of other lessons that I'm going to be putting aside in the board as well. 2 Introduction to Prophecies if we really need that effect, and then Expanded Anatomy, which might actually prove useful. We're not playing any of these other cards, so we'll put those aside. So we need to make 4 more cuts from all of these cards. I don't think I cut anything else in terms of creatures. I think I need something to do. So now we're just looking at spells that we are cutting. Well, I guess I could cut 1 or 2 more creatures if I really need to. I don't know that Serpentine Curve is what I need here. I do like getting fractals, but I'm not sure how many cards are going to be in my graveyard at any point. And if Serpentine Curve doesn't make a 4/4 better, it's probably not worth it. So I think without a certain surefire way of putting instants and sorceries in my graveyard, it's not worth playing here. The creatures aren't very big, so part of the problem is I'm not sure that the fight spells are that good. I guess I can kind of opt. There's not a lot of Magecraft in this particular group of cards, so it's not going to be as useful. I just need to cut 2 more cards here. I think I'm going to cut the Reckless Amplemancer. It's so expensive to turn this into a 4/4 that it's probably not worth it. Okay, so I think I have 1 too many card draw spells, so I'm going to have to cut between Ingenious Mastery, Mentor's Guidance, and Eureka Moment. And of these, I think that Eureka Moment might actually be the weakest, even though it lets us ramp. By the time I'm at 4 mana, I'm not sure how much I'm going to want to be putting an extra land from the Eureka Moment into the battlefield. Although I guess I can play it on my opponent's turn. But yeah, I think that's what gets cut here. And then I want to make a substitution because I've been looking at the Sedgemoor Witch. It seems really powerful at 3 mana. So I think we put this in as a splash as well as the other side of Lizette and cut the Soothsayer Adept, which I think is the weakest of all of the remaining creatures that I have. So that gets cut, and then this is the deck. And then we're just going to figure out how much mana I need. There are 10 independent blues. We have 5 independent greens. We also need to get probably 1 more swamp for the Sedgemoor Witch. I'm probably going to need 2 swamps for the Sedgemoor Witch. That leaves me 13 lands remaining. I want to lean a little bit more into blue. So I'll go 7 blue, 6 green, and that will lead us with an even split. But I think I need the even split because I have all these cards that require both. And so 2 swamps, 7 islands, and 6 forests is what I'm going to be grabbing. Alright, here are my 2 swamps, my 7 islands, and 6 forests. This is the deck. Let me know what you thought about the opening of the deck build in the comments below. If you found this video enjoyable, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. I will be back to play this deck against the Lorehold in a future video. This was Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.